Well, the fact is that the reason this is in here as a feminine is because this is a feminine, and it is simply acting syntactically, is connecting that with that noun. That pronoun is acting, referring back to that pronoun, and therefore that's why it's in the feminine.
You do at least agree that the Hebrew noun and pronouns in this verse are feminine, and that's a good start.
And in fact, other translations did use the masculine. The Geneva used it, the bishops used it, the modern King James 21 uses it.
I find it interesting that you condemn such Bibles as the modern King James Version, but you often quote from it and other modern versions to support your argument.
And none of the other versions use the feminine as the gender in these things here. There's it's not her, her. So by saying well the King James got it wrong because they didn't translate it as feminine, he's saying every other translation also got it wrong.
In English, we do not assign gender to inanimate objects such as the menorah. So we use it, the neuter pronoun. So I can see changing her to it for this grammatical reason. However, by using his, the King James translators are implying a specific gender. But this is not the gender that God spoke.
And therefore, that's where you get the idea that why the King James translators are translating this feminine as a masculine, because they looked at the type that the light is. So the menorah is either a type of Christ or it's a type of the Holy Spirit. It's one or the other.
It seems to me that God is the final authority, not the King James Version. Let me put this very simply. God said, her shaft, her bowls, etc. But the King James Version translators changed God's words to his shaft, his bowls, etc. Now, if the translators are changing the pronouns to the masculine because the menorah is a type of Christ, then my question is, who gave them the authority to change God's words? I think that if God meant for the text to say his shaft, his bowls, etc., then he would have. Edward, you continually state in your video that the King James translators correctly use the masculine pronoun. But not once did you ever say the King James translators changed the gender from feminine to masculine. So let me ask you, do you believe the King James translators changed the gender from a feminine to a masculine? I suspect that you will never give me a yes or no answer to this question, because if you say no, that would be an outright lie. But if you answer yes, then you admit the King James translators changed God's words.